Hi, everybody. It's Miss Verbanic. Okay, so we're going into week 2 for math, and that means we're going to start a new unit. So our last unit had to do with bar models, okay, and it was helping us being able to add and subtract word problems and be able to see them, through pictures through the bar models. So this one, we're actually going to go into measurement, okay? So we're going to be measuring things. We're going to be using units like centimeter cubes or centimeters on a ruler. We're going to be creating a ruler. Okay, so all of these things is going to kind of make a pretty fun unit, I think. Okay, all right. So I'm going to share the screen that I have now. Okay. So this is going to show us kind of like our learning objectives or our learning goals, okay? So remember, this week we're introducing addition and subtraction of length, okay? Length units, and basically it's our measurement unit, okay? So you're gonna explore the concepts of a ruler as a number line. We're gonna become more familiar with the centimeter cubes as a form of measurement, okay? So this week you're gonna create unit rulers. We're going to be using measuring various objects using the centimeter rulers or our centimeter cubes that you were given, okay? And they should look like these, okay? Right? All right, so I'll go back to the share screen now for you. All right, so if we go on to our next one, so our focus question of the day is how can we use copies of the same unit to measure objects? So when I say copies of the same unit, I mean I'm basically duplicating. So this is exactly the same as this, okay? We're going to look at things. These are vocabulary words. We're going to look at measuring, okay? We're going to look at units. What unit am I measuring something in? Am I measuring them in little cubes, little centimeter cubes? Am I measuring them in paper clips? Am I measuring them in hot dogs? What is my unit that I'm measuring them in? Estimating, it's kind of like guessing, not guessing, but what is it about, okay? And that's one of our other words. Rounding, am I rounding my number up or down? Okay, we did that a lot when we were trying to find our friendly numbers to be able to add and subtract. Our centimeter cube, okay? I'm going to talk more about that. We're going to talk about overlap, why it's not good to put overlap when you're measuring, why it's important to use our endpoint when measuring. Okay, we talked about and the length of something or how long it is, okay? All right, so if we go on, so how will I know that I'm using copies of the same unit to measure objects accurately and successfully? Okay, so you will be able to see that they are exactly the same. If I was to actually measure my measuring unit, my centimeter cubes, I would notice that they are exactly the same amount of length, okay? They're exactly the same, they're copies. All right, so when I'm doing my work, I have to make sure that I'm lining up my endpoints, and I'll show you that on the next page. I don't want any gaps, no gaps when I'm measuring, okay? So if I was to show you this, if I was measuring something, I don't want this much space when I'm putting it on a paper. I want them exactly touching like that, okay? There should be no gaps, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm gonna share the screen back. All right. Use the same unit. I'm not going to use a centimeter cube and a paper clip and a dime to measure my pencil, okay? I got to keep them all the same because they're going to be exactly the same and I have to keep them the same. I'm not going to measure my face in centimeter cubes and your face in, I don't know, inches and say, oh, I have more centimeter cubes, because it wouldn't make sense. You have to keep the same units when you're comparing things, okay? That probably wasn't a very good analogy, but I'll talk more about that later. I need you to label your units. What are you measuring in? Are you measuring in paper clips? Are you measuring in inches? Are you measuring in centimeters? This will give me a better idea of what to do, okay? I wouldn't say that I drove my car 5,000 centimeters. I don't even know what that means. But I would be able to kind of estimate if you told me you drove 3 miles, okay? That would make more sense. All right, so looking at this first one. Okay, so I'm going to do the first one with you. It says use centimeter cubes to find the length of each object, okay? And remember these things over here. Line up your endpoints, no gaps or overlaps. Use the same unit and label your units. So these are my little centimeter cubes that I made, and I know they're exact copies of each other because I hit the copy and duplicate button on the PowerPoint. But these are going to represent my centimeter cubes. At home, yours are going to be much bigger, okay? So whatever answer I get here, it's not going to match yours, okay? I'm just using the same exact unit. If you're using these at home to measure, make sure you use the same one or the same type, the same one for each drawing, okay? So I'm going to start measuring. When it says that I need to line up my endpoints, these are my endpoints, okay? This is gonna help make sure that I line it up exactly on that line, and that helps keep it accurate, right? Okay, I wouldn't put it over it, I wouldn't put it under it. I put it right on it like that. No gaps. I'm not gonna put the next one right there. I'm gonna put it real close, okay? And I'm not gonna put it on top of it, because that wouldn't make sense, would it? No. I'm just going to put it exactly touching each other, okay? All right, if I can get it to line up. Okay, I'll keep lining my little centimeter cubes up. Remember, these aren't real centimeter cubes, so it's not going to match yours. These are just the cubes that I had on my computer. All right, so I'm just doing this as an example for you. All right, there's that. I think I should be able to fit one more, okay? And I can. So remember, this is about, which means it's roughly that amount. So let's count to see how many we have, okay? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The picture of the fork and spoon is about 9 centimeters long, okay? Remember, these aren't real centimeters, okay? But this is how many cubes mine could fit. And remember, it says label your units. So I don't say 9 French fries long, 9 centimeters. And I can put cm for centimeters, okay? All right, the next one. This picture of the hammer is about how many centimeters long? Again, let's make sure we're lining up our endpoints. Okay, there's no gaps. I'm using the same units for each one, right? Okay, so I'm dragging them over, right? Here we go. Dragging it over. And it's just gonna be, looks like just about this amount. So let's count to see how many it is, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the picture of the hammer is about 7 centimeters long, and I can write 7 cm. Not 7 hot dogs long, not 7 pennies long, 7 centimeters. Keep with the same units and make sure you label them, okay? Okay, I'm gonna go on to the next one. I'm not going to do this one because it's the same as the other ones, but I am going to look at number 5 because this will help you with the other ones. I'm going to read it. The head of a grasshopper is 2 centimeters long. And I've already actually highlighted 2 because remember, when we're doing our close reading, we want to underline numbers because those look like important pieces of information, okay? So the head of the grasshopper is 2 centimeters long. The rest of the grasshopper's body is 7 centimeters long. What is the total? So this is almost like a bar model. Remember, those bar models never left you. So if I was to actually draw a picture of a bar model, I would draw this. I've got my 2. There's my 2. This looks like a joining set. And then I'm adding it on. 7. So my question is, what's the total? See, we need bar models. Okay, so I know my two parts. What is my whole? Okay, so what we're doing, it says, what is the length of the grasshopper? We're looking for the whole thing. Okay, so if I was to actually draw a picture of the grasshopper, it would probably look very similar to my bar model. Here's my head, and there's the body. Okay, so 2 and then 7, I want to know what his whole length of his body is, right? Okay, so what I could do is what? I would add them, okay? So over here, I could even do this. I've got 2, 1, 2, and now I'm going to add 7 more. 1, 2, oops, make sure there's no gaps. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Again, I know it's not matching this, but this is what it would be like. Okay? Let's count. 2 and 7, you should know is what? Is 9. Okay, let's make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what is the total length of the grasshopper? 9 pennies? What were we measuring in? If I look back, the head of the grasshopper is 2 centimeters. So I know that I'm measuring in centimeters. So the whole body is 9 centimeters. I could write long. Okay, that is my answer. All right. So the next one, I'm not going to do it for you, but I'm just going to help you. The length of a screwdriver is 19 centimeters. The handle is 5. So what is the length of the top? Again, this is kind of like your bar model, okay? It's telling me that the whole length of the screwdriver is 19, right? And it's telling me that the handle is 5. So here's my handle. So I want to know, what's this? What's the length of the top? Okay. So this could be like my bar model, right? So I know that my whole is 19, part is 5, the other part we don't know. Okay. So I'm going to subtract. This is a taking away set. So 19, take away 5. So it's asking me what is left. And make sure when you have the answer that you are giving me the right units that you're in, which is centimeters, okay? And then my part B, that's the second part of the problem, okay? All right, so I want you to be able to take a picture of this for me, guys, and send me what you have gotten to make sure that we're all on the same track, okay? All right, so if you have any questions, please just have your parents text me or call me. But I feel like after we've done the bar model unit, it should be actually a little bit easier. And some of the questions are kind of worded very similar, okay? All right, I hope you guys have a good night. All right, bye-bye.